My name is Fraser Cousins. I work for Smart Technologies. Before I begin, I want to do something a little more fun with all of us. So let's see how well we are living in today's economy and understanding what we're in. So does everyone know what the rules of Price is Right? Anyone understand that concept? So Price is Right is a game show in America that you try not to guess over the value, okay? So I want you guys all to raise your hand in a moment, and I want you to lower your hand when you think I've gone over the number, okay? Does that make sense? Kind of fun, last thing before a pint kind of thing to do, okay? So the question I have posed for you is, the average knowledge worker today in developed world checks their phone how many times during the day, okay? So everyone raise your hand now, right? I'm gonna start throwing numbers out. So is it 20 times during a day? 30, 50, 75, 100, thank you, sir. 150, I feel like I'm almost doing an auction. 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300, 350, oh, almost 400, sir. Do we have 400? We have the last bidder at 400. All right, so the answer to that question, you probably have seen the very large set that's actually being publicized all through social media right now. Simon Sinek, if you guys are familiar with him, he's saying this is the devil, right? It's taking every attention away from all of us. The average person checks their phone 158 times a day. However, if you take it into a factor that it's a knowledge worker, it's 258 times a day. So it is absolutely asinine, and that's what my talk about you guys is today about. Welcome to the attention economy. This is what we're in today, right? Where we compete with Kim and Kanye, cat videos, the endless scroll, the autoplay, all things that potentially can distract us away from our goals. And I believe what we're really faced today to do is to gain and gather attention back. How do we get organizations to actually get better focus to be successful? So let's take a look at this. This is not just this month that this happened, right? This has been building over the past 20 years in regards to where we're at, right? But I want to really focus on today of really where we get a sense of this 2019 view of what we're doing. Every internet minute that passes, in fact, I think I've been talking for there's 4.5 million views of YouTube out in the world. There is 46.1 million messages sent on just WhatsApp and Facebook alone, right, in regards to how we're communicating every day on how that's driving. The thing I want you to really think about for yourselves is, what is that doing? Is that a distraction, or is that enabling in your organization? That'll depend on your culture of what you're trying to achieve. And I want you to think about what devices are being brought into the room with you, and whether that is something that is effective or not. So who here is on Team Apple? They carry an iPhone every day, right? Awesome, awesome. Who's on Team Android? Brings the dark side into the room, right? Awesome, awesome. Perhaps the Team White shirts. How about PC? Who's still bringing the laptop in? Who's in the Team PC? Or who brings both, right? Who has all three, just like saddled on their belt, right? Okay, so what I really want you to think about is, if they're carrying these devices in the room, and we're seeing an increase of every day, thousands of engineers, social engineers that are developers or engineering for our time, trying to take 5 minutes away of watching the next cat video, the next endless scroll. How do we gain attention back when they're engineering to take away our time? What's the answer? What's the answer to get attention back? Yes, sir. Because I want you to think about your space. So if they're coming, today there's only 3 ways you can meet, right? You can meet in a room together, right? Which still, this is fascinating to me. Do you guys know that Wayne House publishes a study that still counts the amount of total minutes consumed in a room? So now it's done on a web conference, of course, instead of perhaps a traditional video conference or a telephone call. But still, 25% of total minutes consumed by our users are in a meeting room. We choose to meet together where we can, right? Or you can meet on a computer, or you can meet on the move, right? That's the only 3 ways we can meet. Does this resemble your organization of what it's like to have a meeting in your space today? Is it do not erase on the whiteboard? Are you taking photos still of what to be able to capture on the process flow diagram that you're trying to review and change and be able to iterate on? Are you still running around with yellow stickies to accomplish those goals? And you have to apologize to the far end user and say, well, if I only had a tool to help. So that might be the case, but what's more important to think about is, well, what if I just had more engaging meetings, right? Because engagement is the answer, folks, right? If we can get our knowledge workers more engaged in what we're doing, those devices become our friends, not our foes, right? And we'll garner more attention, we'll gather more tacit knowledge in the room, and get broader conclusions. But if we just try and change the style of meeting we're having by using the old tools, this might resemble your company.
Who knows how to put this on the screen? Up there, because you're not gonna, I want you to see all the details. We have a cable, does this cable work?
I think that's power.
I don't know if on the there's an
This one.
HDMI port.
That cord's not gonna be long
In
enough.
the back,
Does that
there
remote
could be
go to
like
the
2 or 3,
TV?
like HDMI 1,
Plenty of time, guys.
2,
No rush.
HDMI
This isn't
3,
working.
I got a
and
green
then they
marker.
coincide
Call the
with
IT
each
guy.
other with,
Wait,
there's
turn
also,
what off and back
what
on?
do you call it? S-video.
Hello?
Okay, I've got it working.
Hit play. Okay, now imagine hundreds of those floating around the web. Do you want to watch it one more time?
No, please.
Trip, I think you're onto something with this idea. I really like it. Carol, did you get that down?
Yep, got it.
Sorry, what is C-test up sub YT pros?
Well, I'm abbreviating to make room for all these great ideas. Contest, uploading it to YouTube, funniest, and you get a prize.
Wait, where are the other ideas?
Okay, so does that, raise your hand if that might resemble a meeting you've been to the past month, right? That's a challenge. It's a real challenge about, even if we want to get more engagement and we try, we take the desperate jump, a leap to change the style of meeting that we're trying to accomplish. You really need the right modern tools to help you achieve that goal, right? And so I want you to think about, well, what would that mean? What were the right tools that would help me unlock true engaging style meetings to garner that attention back? So at SMART, we've been at this for a great while. We were founded in 1991. We are not only the teacher's best friend in terms of delivering more engaging sessions in a training environment or a professional instruction area, we're not only the engineer's best friend for actually the rise of Agile and Huddle and changing stand-up meetings and actually change the way we break blocks and all those areas around Jira and other capabilities around what you might be trying to do on changing your culture of, say, project management. But we're also now focused on being the best friend to the knowledge worker, our general conferencing user capability. And we've just launched a new capability around what we call TeamWorks, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about. We believe that the answer at SMART is that to get engagement, you need to add interactive plus contribution. If you can have those two building blocks for what you do in your spaces, you also will have the right tools to unlock engagement again. So with SMART, we've been busy since this last October, where we just introduced a new SmartBoard capability that's called TeamWorks. TeamWorks is a premium conferencing hub that unlocks spaces and big collaboration. So you can co-create, you can iterate, and you can accomplish that interacting contribution. Truly give the power back to users. You can democratize contribution, right? You have the same tools for the far end user as the local user. So let's talk about it. TeamWorks is really a 3-pillar product. It focuses on a pain-free meeting start, so you can have one-tap join to your conference call, today's modern web conferencing meetings. We actually have 9 different web conferencing platforms that we support for one-tap join. That's Microsoft Teams, that's Skype for Business, that's GoToMeeting, that is Zoom, that is Google Hangouts, and a host of others, including some traditional video conferencing clients as well. So you can really be able to just invite the room and you can join your session. Once you're in your session, what SMART does is turns your meeting from participants to contributors. And we do that in 2 meaningful ways, which I'll talk a little bit about. How we change the way that material is shared, and then what you can do around whiteboarding and really have a canvas that can really allow for co-sharing. And then lastly, we try to make meetings finally a lot easier to manage at scale. So providing the right tools to be able to scale this inside your organization. We do all of this as either software that you deploy on your screen, your computer for the room, or you can buy it as a full package as a Windows tablet from Smart, where you have what we call an open conferencing architecture that lets you use the Smartboard as your USB hub for your peripherals you purchase. So whichever speaker, microphone, or camera that you want to outfit your space with, you can plug that into the Smartboard and leverage that for your conferencing room. We have actually a built-in USB bridge into the product that lets you use any one. So whether it's a large room like this that might be more of a lectern design, where I already have maybe an installed audio system for what I'd like to leverage, that's no problem. As long as you have a USB interface, you can plug into the Smartboard and reutilize that capability. We also have a lot of, I guess, vendors around here are going to talk to you about IoT ready or what it is about AI sensor ready with a system. So with all of Smart's range of hardware we offer, we actually have 3 categories of sensors. We actually have 24 sensors designed into our products. They include dual sensors for proximity. So you can walk in the room and no remote control or power button that you got to worry about. It'll just turn on like the sunrise. And likewise, if you leave the room, through motion, we'll go to sleep. Or if you put it in an open zone, we also have a configurable option that you can wake up on touch or wake up on pen for the system to wake up if it's a very high traffic area. Kind of your choice on how you'd like to do that. We also have ambient light sensors that manage the level of brightness in the room and actually change your product dynamically so you don't burn out your eyes or can't really make out what's being seen in there. We optimize it for you based on the light of the room. We also have a leading experience around amazing touch and pen. So our system is based off InGlass, which is a leading edge capability around touch. But we've gone further with that on what we call HyperTouch, which is 4 pens with pressure, a natural pen on paper experience for you to write. And be able to have object awareness where you have your finger to control, the pens to write, and the ability to fist erase or use our erasers to work like a chalkboard, so there's no learning curve for your users. Lastly, we have that open conferencing architecture that doesn't require you to have anything proprietary. We use standards-based approaches like screencasting with Miracast, AirPlay, and Google Cast. So you can really screen share any content up, as well as be USB plug and play standard for any of the conferencing devices that are optimized for your conferencing platforms that you want to leverage. Beyond the hardware, we've expanded the list of that one-tap join experience that you can join. So you can actually not only be able to pick one platform, but you can invite throughout the day, have different meetings on different platforms if you so choose. It's an interesting stat. Did you guys know this? This is a very interesting stat. 40% of knowledge workers, when you poll the actual knowledge worker, how many different web conferencing platforms they utilize in a given month, 40% of them say 5 or more. 5 or more different conferencing platforms they experience on a monthly basis. So how can we provide a technology that lets them have their meetings yet be familiar? Well, this solution allows you to have that consistent interface, and all you have to do is invite the room, and you're done, right? They simply just tap the meeting and start, and you're off to the races. Beyond that, we have the capability around what we call breaking the walkie-talkie. So tell me if you guys have ever had a meeting where you felt a host captive or a presenter captive, right? You're kind of in one right now, right? Where the presenter's presenting at you, right? And you have this issue that they have the control, they got the dongle, and you just got to sit there and listen and get smashed with PowerPoint after PowerPoint. Who's been in that meeting, right? You're in one right now. I'm doing it to you right now. Right? So a great way to change that method is to be able to increase the ability of how you can allow the knowledge workers in the room to share also. And that's exactly what Smart does. We have the ability to share more than one at a time to the screen, and the far end witnesses it. So it's a very powerful way of breaking that walkie-talkie one at a time sharing. So if you look at the screen right there, what I'm actually doing is I'm sharing Android touchback, so Miracast touchback through Android, as well as PC through that experience. And you're seeing multiple, both iOS Android, and PC at the same time. We can do up to 8 simultaneous wireless screen shares at once. And the magic of it is, it all is seen through the web conference, through as a desktop share. Not only can we do that, but you can do more with your content through touchback and doing markup directly on the screen. So you could truly power this experience more. And we have the enterprise class features you need with pin prompting, prompts or pins to really allow you to be able to leverage this capability globally. Beyond just sharing one at a time, walkie-talkie sharing, we also have the ability to be able to take your whiteboarding to another level. So with TeamWorks, it includes something called the connected whiteboarding experience. And so what that means is rather than just desktop sharing what's happening on the whiteboard to the far end, which we can of course do, we also can invite people via a link to join the whiteboard as a contributor. And you get tools that you control when you're ready to go full-time as all contributors. You can choose discreetly which contributors you want to contribute, or you can all at once, depending on what type of culture or style of meeting you're trying to accomplish, which really allows for anyone to join. It's not just a smartboard to smartboard experience. Of course, we can do that very well. But we also have free apps for PC, Android, and Apple to join as well. So you can choose what device, wherever you are, whether you're at Starbucks on your computer, or you're in the room with a tablet, or across the world. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have access to the internet and an app, you can join as a contributor. And it's not just annotation. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of digital whiteboarding at this show. What Smart's able to do is it's beyond just annotation of writing, "Hi Toby," or "Hi Jorgen." We can go further. We can allow you to be able to bring in your content to the session, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, PDF, videos, the web, all into the session, and let you iterate as you see fit. You can take a screen cap, bring that into the session, and allow to be able to be marked up upon. You can comment while simultaneously you're annotating. It allows for a rich way to be able to work, and all participants are welcome to do. Whether it's ad hoc, scheduled, you really can truly get that multi-way experience across it to really unlock co-creation. Last category of what you really should consider when you're looking at purchasing a system, look at a vendor that can offer you finally an answer to ease of management and administration. So no more, who likes sneaker wear? Raise your hand. Right, do you guys all know what sneaker wear is? It means you have to go from room to room in your sneakers to go fix the product. Who's had a sneaker wear job before, right? Not a fun place to be, right? With Smart, we not only give you that AI sensor and reporting utilization around your system on your terms, but we take that information and give you more capabilities. We give you remote takeover. We give you the ability to be able to have a full dashboard of auto discovery of your devices and be able to do features like geolock or asset tracking and be able to provide you a richer way to work. If you have a preferred Daymore client or a methodology that you prefer, we comply with your standard and allow you to use those systems as well. So whether it's the best of IT, the best of AV, we're able to provide you a standards-based approach to really administer your systems effectively. And then be able to do updates, setting changes, rollout of your capabilities. If Zoom updates their system, no problem. You can easily be able to change your method. Next month, there's an acquisition in your company you have to support, go to meeting, no problem. That's an easy settings change for you to enable that experience for all your users. So what does this mean? I really want to challenge you today to really think about how you're going to democratize contribution and get that attention back from your knowledge workers. And we believe that answer is by increasing the level of engagement with your attendees and turn them from not just being a passive participant, but being a true contributor to a session. After all, they're invited to the room for the reason, right? How do we get that knowledge, that tacit knowledge, into the meeting so we can get broader conclusions, faster decision making, and better decisions first at the right time? Time to add work back into the meeting. Let's change the way we share content. No more walkie-talkie, where we can increase the amount of information we're able to handle, and be able to unlock co-sharing in a meaningful way with that connected whiteboard experience. And then be able to save that information with wrap-up and recap. So if you like what you're hearing today, good news. Smart has just opened a brand new office at the Waterloo Station where you can actually witness our briefing center, where you can actually have a live session and experience this, have a meeting on us, as it were. I believe on Thursdays we have a happy hour at the end of the day, if that intrigues you. Or, even better, just a moment away in G115, you can experience it today, right now, live. So I'd encourage you to stop by our booth at G115 and really get a better sense of this. And we're doing some industry firsts at this show. So for an EMEA first showing, we're actually showing Miracast touchback capabilities, as well as that connected whiteboard where you can experience both ends of the experience, so there's no under the covers here for how that full system can work. So with that, I wanted to pause and take any questions from the room that you guys might have. All right. Well, I will say one question that I do get quite often is, well, with Smart, will I truly be able to, or maybe I've tried an interactive product in my organization before, and maybe it worked somewhat and so forth, but it didn't maybe achieve the results I wanted to. And I would say you're likely right. What's really changed, I believe, in trends is that previously, smart boards have been deployed to large organizations for general conference use, but it tended to be off the side of the room as an adjacent complement of a whiteboard. And it was only meant for digital whiteboard replacement, where perhaps it wasn't integrated properly as a full existing system. This solution really allows for a front of room, one form factor to really unlock those capabilities and allow you to have an open platform to accomplish those goals. So don't be discouraged, and look forward to seeing you at G15. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, London.